Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the good old Geoguessr. We are playing a balanced world today. It is a map by Debray, and when in doubt and you know you're in Australia, I guess go north. We fucked up. We forgot to do the Troll Out League and the Stay Safe League, so we're probably dropping in those standings. Not much we can do about it. We do have a Pro League to take care of today, and that is the glorious Rural World. And we will be doing that after we do this seed, so it will be a two-parter. But we are in the wonderful world of Australia, the land of everything that wants to murder you. Hopefully we're able to find a good sign, not one of these shitty ones that doesn't really point to anything. Obviously, that's probably a street road or something along those lines. We want one of these blue signs that hopefully points us to, like, not a rest stop, but instead, like, a marked village or town that we're probably able to find. Matheson. So that's probably the name of the town, right? And it's probably not large enough to find on a map. We probably will just struggle. Or it could just be the name of the rest stop, the park, whatever it is, because it's Australia and you need to have those 45 kilometers to the next rest stop. So obviously if you're tired, if you've been driving for long periods of time, that's kind of where they want you to pull over. We are in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you gotta just love when you end up in the middle of fucking nowhere. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and I'm honestly thinking that it's more along the bad here. But hopefully we do find something. All we can hope is that we find something. And at this rate, I feel like we're not actually going to find shit. Although, Victoria Highway upgrade, Northern Territory. So that tells us plenty of where we are. I don't know which of these is the Victoria Highway. That's the Stewart. That is the Barkley. This is the Buchanan. Carpentia. Probably maybe by Victoria River. Boomteen. Really? Victoria Highway. Completion date when the fuck ever. That should have two different towns on it. Although it doesn't look like it. Timber something, maybe? So we know we're on Victoria Highway. We know Timber Creek. And Catherine? Is there a Catherine? There is a Catherine. I don't... Yeah, we do get a better score. It does end up being a lot closer to 96. It doesn't matter how much we would have traveled. There's no way we would have hit 96. I am glad we hit Timber Creek. It was in between Timber Creek and Catherine, and I hope that's actually what the sign said. I'm pretty blind. It was pretty blurry, but it does help us get a pretty decent guess off. One of our better Australias, if I think about it. It looks like we're on the right-hand side. We do have water, and we do have this nice bridge. We should be in the Philippines. Should be. Doesn't mean we will be, but... should be in the Philippines. Water to our north and east. Not necessarily the easiest to go with Panay. It's kind of in the middle of the fucking country. And now we just look for, I don't know, a town name for 3 minutes? 2.5 minutes? That's close enough. The right-hand side does get rid of Indonesia and Malaysia. It gets rid of Thailand. And we do have a yellow divider line, but... right-hand side, I mean, I guess it could still be Cambodia, but you don't really see cement roads like we were originally on in Cambodia. You do see the raised houses that we are getting, but there is what appears to be a lot of English, and you don't really see that in Cambodia. So I think everything we've pointed out is 100%. We are in the Philippines. There's not much behind it. This is a very unique road marking. I believe we've seen it before in the Philippines. Kind of reminds me of Uruguay, or sometimes we have a road. Nah, is it Uruguay? Might be South Africa that I'm thinking of, or Botswana. Regardless, we don't see it too often. Combine it with everything else, it just makes sense. Can we find Republic of the Philippines? That's not what we wanted. Kinogitan and Misamis. So the Kinogitan should be a town or a village. Probably not a city, doesn't feel like one. We might be able to find it, and it might also be Misamis, which would suck because I'm going to only look for Kinogitan. And hopefully it's large enough that we can see it from a distance. Don't be surprised if we can't. I have a feeling it's going to be over here because this is where we usually end up when it comes to schools. Kinogitan, I don't see it. Obviously, we could have missed it. We might not be zoomed in enough. Or it could be islands that we don't really check too often. Which, if we don't check them, obviously we're not going to see it. Some of these do have coverage. Some of them don't. Obviously, you have to figure out which ones do. You're better off guessing, you know, Luzon or Panay or whatever this one's called. Actually, I don't know the name of this one. It's large. It's large, and that's why it matters. If you go for, you know, obvious areas, then maybe you'll be lucky. More population equals more chance. I think that's how logic works. But, you know, we still have an opportunity to end up on the smallest island that has coverage. So it's not like we can just rely on it. We should probably go East Coast because we did see water to our east and to our north. So it makes sense that we are on the East Coast. And, yeah, we don't have the worst guess. It does end up being the largest island to the south. Kind of on the northern coast with an island to our north. Here's Kinogitan, so that was definitely the name of the town. I'm glad we saw that. Sadly, we weren't going to be able to find it. We wouldn't have zoomed in as far as that would have required. So shame. Let's see. Gen 3. Kind of stuck in a traffic circle. That's a Florida license plate. Debray. Are we really stuck in this traffic circle? No? Okay, we can get out. That is... What the fuck? Oklahoma? That's Florida. That's Florida. That's Florida. 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 I think we're in Florida. I don't know what's giving it away. The fact that we have all these palm trees, Miami works. We might be able to find something that tells us otherwise. We are at a golf course, I believe. Either that or this is a nice hotel. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking golf course. There's a golf cart. Makes sense to me. Let's see if we can't fucking leave. We might be able to get a name. And names maybe will have towns. Yeah, this is a fucking resort. 100%. We are at the Starbucks Coffee at this resort in Florida with palm trees. I can't read that. Sad days. But Florida exists, I guess. Captiva and Whiteman. We have the Bubble Room Emporium. It feels very like Kissimmee, Orlando, Tampa. Kind of where you would expect most of the tourists. Kissimmee, I believe, is the airport that most people fly into to go to Disney. Paradise Beach is actually, I believe, down here. Somewhere along this. I don't know if it's Fort Lauderdale or what. But there is water, as you can see. That is not a Swiss flag. Don't worry. Paradise Beach sounds like it's near Miami. But we are looking for anything that really tells us exactly where we are. Dr. Road, Royal Vacation, Fort Myers. Where the fuck is Fort Myers? It's over here. Cape Coral, so we should be over here then. Whiskey Creek, Lakes Park, Cape Coral, Sun Estates, Tice, Fort Myers Shores. No, we should be over here. Where is Paradise Beach? Is that actually a name? Or am I losing my mind? And we should be near like a golf course. So we could be over here. No, Golf Harbor Yacht and Country Club. 100%. I don't care. 100%. Is there a better one? The Lakes Park, maybe. Crown Colony Golf Club, maybe. But I feel like we would have seen something that said Crown. It ends up being literally on an island in the middle of nowhere. That is the Blackwoods Tennis South Seas Island Resort. So South Seas Island Resort. Interesting. 15 miles isn't that bad. I'm glad we saw Cape Coral and all that other stuff. This should be Russia. We're going off of the black and white guardrails. Shitty roads, middle of fucking nowhere. It's Russia. There's no doubt in my mind. We don't have the red car, which is the only other option being the Ukraine. Rather flat, rather open, kind of feels dead and dreary. I don't think it's Bulgaria with the fallish coverage because it's not really winter. Those were bollards, but I don't have the time to go back. It's Russia. This is where we decide who wins. You get a good enough guess here, you're gonna win. It doesn't matter how well you did on all the other rounds. I mean, obviously, if you fuck up the other rounds, you're not gonna win off of this. But it seems to be a close enough game that the best guess here is probably gonna win. And whoever the current leader is currently has the best guess. So we need to find something that just elevates our guess just a little bit. I wouldn't mind a 100-point to 200-point lead here. We do have our first chance to look at the language, and what a surprise. It's not Macedonia, because Macedonia literally says Macedonia on all of their bus stops. Alright, we're making a play. We are going to Sugya. Why? It feels flat. It feels cold. I think this is actually where the Ural Mountains are, so maybe we shouldn't. Ufa. Over by Nefetsmatsk. In between Perm and all that. Dirt road makes sense for that. We kind of are just being taken along for a ride here. It's going to be interesting to see how our tracker tracks us here. Because we are going to be kind of in the middle of fucking nowhere. Nothing about the architecture is telling me whether we're east or west, although I do believe we are gonna be east. But there's nothing fucking here, man. We have a babushka walking the road. We're going back the way we came. Hopefully we can find... Nope. Okay, we're screwed. We're screwed. Return to start, head the other direction. Yeah, there's a fucking town right here. What am I fucking doing? See, guys, this is what happens when you go the wrong way. You struggle bus it the entire time. Obviously, there's nothing here that's going to tell us, you know, hey, man, you're 20 kilometers away from Moscow. But if we would have gone the other direction, we would have had much more time, and we would have been able to explore a little bit better. And we would have known for a fact that we were in Russia a long time before we did before. Even though I think we figured it out, like, really early on. Maybe we need to pay attention more before we decide to go a certain direction. But we're not finding anything. The only clues we found are probably small towns. Hope for fucking luck here. Hope we have a good guess. And it ends up being right on the border of Belarus. Except we're in the lead. Even though we had the worst guess. Which means no matter what we get on that last round, we win. How the fuck did that happen? Is this another Russia? It probably is. We do have, obviously, the language. I don't see the letter Y, which would get rid of Ukraine. We don't have the red car. We are on the right-hand side. We do have white lines all over. It's not winter coverage. The only other options, what, Serbia at this point? I don't think it's Serbia. We could try and find a license plate. Just in case. Let's see. Might have blue. Might be seeing things. Doesn't have blue. Can't be Serbia. I mean, I guess it still could. It's got to be Russia. And this feels a little bit more eastern. Maybe by Tomsk and Omsk and Novosibirsk, which seems to be wherever we end up east, the place to guess. Obviously, it's not Kamchatka. Kamchatka doesn't really have roads. Or at least whenever we end up there, we're on a dirt road and it's full of fucking volcanoes everywhere. This time around, it doesn't seem very hilly. It seems rather flat, kind of like the first location. I guess we can... move it towards St. Petersburg, maybe? But I think the guess we have is fine. Shit. Shit. How did I fucking win off of a terrible Russia guess? To then get a second Russia guess that doesn't really matter where we place it. I don't get it. I really don't. We might be close to Mongolia here, although there are a lot of trees. Can we figure out where we are? I mean, we have these down here. Opexco, which we could translate. We have a minute, so it probably doesn't matter. But these should all be out to the east, shouldn't they? Opexoba, which obviously is not what that is. But I don't even know where it would be. It's saying it's 69 kilometers away, unless that's literally an address. But I'm pretty sure that YA helps with the translation. I don't even know where to fucking look. I really don't. We could just keep it where it is and hope for fucking luck. Shit. I do think it's east. I do. I don't recognize any of these, to be honest, just by looking at it. Although that's a weird D. And you really only see that down here. Fuck it. And it does end up being the far end of Russia. I didn't care anymore. I really didn't. So, shit happens. We won on Australia, technically. It was just 3 people. Russia can go fuck itself. You know how I do with Russia. At that end, it was literally pyramid. And I think we're so used to seeing the squared version of that whenever we do see triangle, we tend to not go with Russia. But not much we can do about it. So Australia literally won it for us. It literally did. Each handler second at 14,852. And then Bo in third at 9,024. Shit. Well, that wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. And now we have to do the glorious rural world. The glorious. We are in 21st. It's actually not that bad. We have a pretty decent lead over 25th. And we only have a few legs left. So after this one, we got 48, 49, and 50. There's 4 legs left. How crazy is that? 12 days. Not even. Not fucking even. 9 days? 10 days? It doesn't fucking matter. This is a 3, which means we're allowed to zoom and we're allowed to pan. We're not allowed to move. So hopefully we could do decent. Some of our scores have obviously been better than others. Oh, shit. I think there's blue on that. It feels... It's definitely Europe. I want to say it's the Baltics. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. The trees might be a little bit more Russian. So Latvia near the Russian border might work. It's not the Ukraine based off of the car. I can't even tell what that car is, although it looks like a Toyota. I don't see if there's a blue, but it looks like there could be a blue right here. I think this is the best guess, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up in the Balkans instead. It ends up being Lithuania, so actually we have a pretty decent guess there. Actually not that bad. Round 2, Gen 4. Kind of feels tropical. No markings on the road. And it could be Mexico. It's probably Mexico. Only other option really would be New Zealand. And I don't think this fits New Zealand very well. Although, does it really fit Mexico? I mean, these ferns... I don't really know. I wish we had some kind of sign. Can't even tell what side of the road we're on. Nothing really for the car. The sun is kind of south. That sucks. Mexico. And it ends up being Indonesia. I actually didn't know Borneo had Gen 4 coverage. Honestly didn't know that. This should be the United States. Could be a rural Canada. I think I'm leaning more United States here. Probably would go Montana, Idaho, Wyoming area. It could be Utah. Obviously, it could be the edges of Washington, Oregon. If it's going to be Canada, it's going to be up here in the British Columbia-Alberta border. But I think the Idaho guess is probably the safest. It ends up being directly north of us at the Alberta-Canada border. So Indonesia's going to screw us. Oh, look. We have the car. North Marinara Sauce Islands. Although... looks like it's the white pickup truck. It could be the U.S. Virgin. It looks like we are on the left-hand side, which I believe is North Marinara. But if it's gonna be the U.S. Virgin, do they drive on the left? It doesn't make sense if it's the U.S., right? Fuck. What other place has the white truck? I know the U.S. Virgin has white truck and red truck. Does Christmas Island have a white truck? Christmas Island might have a white truck. I don't actually recognize this right here. I think this is on the road, and it's like a Potter, and it's meant to make you go slow. It's either this or Christmas Island. And it ends up being Christmas Island. Actually, it ends up being the Cocos, which is close enough to Christmas Island where Cocos don't matter. So the Cocos can go fuck themselves. And this should be Greece. Or Albania. No rift. It could be a riftless Albania Montenegro. We do have a yellow divider line. It's single. We don't really have any signs. It does kind of feel shitty. So I don't know if I really want to go with Greece here. I kind of want to see what that sign says. We are on the right-hand side. Can't see if there's anything there. But a yellow divider line in Europe isn't very common. It's not. We could be really close to Macedonia, Bulgaria, or Albania. Shit. I think also Greece uses a double yellow, not a single yellow. Fuck. I'm not going to move my guess. I'm not. It doesn't matter. And it ends up being Mexico? That was not Mexico. Fuck that shit. We did great. 7771. Nighty in first, Apodic in fourth, Alec in fifth, Roland in sixth, Calamity in seventh, Radio in ninth, Simeon 13th, Mr. Blue in 19th. That was not a good one for us. We kind of fucked everything up. Still in 45th. Only 60 people have played, so that's really bad. That's really bad, but shit happens sometimes, obviously. The Cocos can go, I don't know, disappear into the ocean. Nobody gives a fuck about them. But that's going to be where we call it. So thank you all so much for being here. Obviously, one was a little bit better than the other. Shit happens sometimes, I suppose. But until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. And bye-bye.